99 Silverado pickup truck. Where are the codes for this thing? Are they up in the truck? All right. This has multiple electrical codes. And what did we find in here? We found, let's see. You can see there that these wires are broken in there. Okay, they're rubbing up against there on the connector. The reason was this part here, which is the 4x4 selector, was rubbing up against it. So we had to pry that back. It was so far, I don't know why, we think that it dropped down on it, but somehow it was bent and rubbing as right against this connector right there. The connector goes right there. But Tony found something else out that we're gonna have to do also, and that is that the internal wire harness is leaking right here. Okay, so where this plugs to, it's leaking out here. Let's see. Yeah, you can see inside. Well, let me see here. You see it's wet right inside there. So that has to come out. We're going to put in a brand new internal wire harness inside this thing. You see the wetness in there. And it's just dripping. It's been dripping all night. So that's going to have to be replaced. So we're going to have to drop the pan to do that. And I'm going to put in a, wait. Right here. Let's go to here, Tony. Right on there. This we're going to put in another pigtail. We're going to take all these wires off, and they got one from Rostra that we're going to put a new one on and put a new internal wire harness, get rid of this. 1999 Chevy Silverado. It's only have 40,000 miles on it, but it's been in a lot of salt, so it has a lot of rust on it. A lot of rust. Right here, we're going to put on this wire harness on this thing. Put this wire harness in here. This was leaking out. What? Can't push that in. I need a pry bar. Oh, got to make sure. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, that's in now. It's in all the way. Now, this one goes over here. Here, yeah, okay. This one, oh boy, the way they got this thing here. Okay, one goes there and one goes there. So, why is that like that? Okay. When they wrap these things, somehow have to go right there. I would prefer to come out here like this. Like that. And put this one. All of this gotta go like this, one. It's gotta go over here. Alright. And then this gotta go in here. Okay. this one. Something over here like this. That. This is going to go like this. This one is going to go like this. All right.
Hey, G. Hey.
All right. Okay, now I have the new wire harness inside here, and you hook it to this here, this solenoid here. There's one there, and to the manifold pressure switch, 2 shift solenoids here, and you have to push it in here until it locks in. Okay, so that's good there. Now I am up here working on this wire harness here. I had to solder some because I don't have any more of these connectors. They didn't come in the box. Look like Rostra is, if they can come in a Rostra box, they're trying to eliminate that now and just give you this, the pigtail, instead of giving the connectors. Before they would give you these butt connectors, but I guess they're trying to cheapen the things up, and next thing you know, when you thought that they were going to be in the box, now you're stuck if you don't have any. And I didn't have but 2. So now I'm going to have to solder the rest, I guess, or go out and get some. So you can see here, I showed you where there was rubbing there. Let's see here. You can see where they're torn right there. Got a bunch of them that's just messed up. Alright, so let me get this together. Alright, I'm up here gonna finish this here. This Rostra connector right here have a lot of wires that's not necessary. They tell you that. Whatever you don't need, you got to cut off. And I had to go out and get some more of these wire things here. These butt connectors, the weatherproof type. Look like that. These things are expensive. It's $21 for this pack. So I got to get back to seeing which wires need to be cut here. Sometimes when dealing with these wires, even though you may have the correct size, these wires are kind of thin. Sometimes it's best to twist it and double this up like that. That's to make it fat so it can make a good connection. And put it in there so it'll move around. Make sure you get it in there. Trying to make sure I really get that in there. Here.
All the bolts on top of the battery and
in here. And what you want to do when you are taking the wires apart, you want to make sure that you take one at a time, just in case you have some that have the same color. But if they don't have the same color, you may take 3 or 4 of them, cut 3 or 4 at a time. So, you know, it is easy to mix them up. So you keep this as a reference. You leave some of the wire on here so you know what color go to what, and you orient this the same way as the one here. So here it has the arrow here, and this has the arrow here, and that's how you know which wire goes to what. Now I'm about to continue putting these together, and then we're going to put the pan back up and be finished with the transmission here. So let me see here. I'm trying to get that connector. You might could see in here on it, but it's hard because this thing here is in the way because it shifted over. This whole part here is rusty and shifted over. So this is what caused the damage. Now it's hard to get it back on, so I had to pry this out the way. Pry it out the way to try to get that on. See right there, this is that connector right here trying to get in. This is in the way. I'm gonna have to pry this back to put it on. Shouldn't have to do that. What this means is this part here have moved over that way. So let's see that here, this whole part is moving. This whole part is moving over. So we're gonna have more problems with this truck because the amount of rust that's on this thing. Things are starting to shift. Let me see if I can get that over.
my phone's in the cabinet over there.
Okay, I got it there, but that is close. I'm gonna have to bend that out a little bit more. What it did, it knocked that off, and that's how it rubbed on that connector. So I have to bend this out a little bit more. And that's all you could do with that. So all can be done. Okay, I got it where it's not touching, so if that move forward, it won't hit that again. Okay. So that should be fine. That should be fine. Now we're gonna put this cover back on here on this transmission, put the pan back on, put a new gasket, fill it up, and let it get out of here.